This is called Our Lady of Mercy Church. It was designed in 1912 and finished construction in 1925. Catholic Church. This is in Port Newfoundland, and it's a French area from what the signs say. And this church was built to support the congregation here. I'll show you the inside also. It's a massive church actually, size-wise. This is the inside of this church. All in wood. Really beautiful workmanship.
His great-grandchildren still come here all the time. They visit there. They're from up in Ontario and that places. But oh yes, they come to visit all the time.
Yeah, that's very beautiful.
Yeah, but oh yes, and see, we still function as a church when needed, but the diocese and the building 2 years ago. Prior to that, we were 45 years keeping this up on our own. The Alpha and the Omega, and the angels guarding the tabernacle.
Oh,
But now that
that's
work.
the chalices.
That's one of them. Yeah, that's 150 years old. The working of it. Please don't fall on the steps. Dollars in the donation box there. Now you come up and do this too. This is something.
Now close it.
The Blessed Sacrament is not here. This is 150 years old, and I want you to feel the action.
So this church was built by boat builders. So the roof is built like an upside down boat. Every second purlin is deeper and the other one is shallower. So where the fans are, they're a little deeper and then shallower. So they built it like an upside down boat. So room's got some statues and relics of the old church. Those would be the robes that the priests wore.
Now the other thing about this building.
This statue is made out of Carrara marble,
The other thing about
and apparently there's no Carrara marble
we are the only
left
place, I think, in Canada
available.
the Munich Boys and Girls Choir.
It was acquired in 1920.
The building itself
go
took
ahead.
11 years to build because the priest wanted it debt-free. So what they did was the men of the area donated all of their free time. So the church was built by volunteer fishermen, farmers, and miners, 98% of whom could not read or write.
Wow. Tell us about this guy that did this railing here.
Oh, that was Emile Felix. He was an elderly fisherman who didn't have the stamina to climb the ladders to get to the ceiling or the roof. So what he did was he said, I'll carve the altar rail. He had a homemade plane, a pocket knife, an axe, and a saw. 9 years he actually designed and carved the altar rail. It is put together with wooden dowels The only nails hold it to the floor.
And you were telling us about the acoustics here. Do you want to have another go at your singing there?
As long as nobody hears it, only you.
Yeah, it'll be our 4 children.
Oh.
It'll be on YouTube. Are you okay with that?
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gracia plena. I've run out of air. The early 1970s, a windstorm blew out those 3. So anyway, we went to St. John's, Montreal, Italy, everywhere to see if we could get them made. But everybody quoted they could get them made for 6 digits or better.
Wow.
And of course, we had no money. So there was an elderly lady out in West Bank, Mrs. White. She said, get me a little bit of stained glass now and a bit of lead and I'll see what I can do. She came in, she took pictures and measured. The ones on this side. We didn't hear from her in 6 months. We didn't hear from her a year. Well, we said, we're not going after the poor old lady. 3 years later, she called and said, your windows are ready. 3 years of work. When we asked her how much, she said, nothing.
Wow.
My father and my grandfather worked on the church. This is my donation. 3rd generation.
Wow. They're beautiful too. They're very well done.
Oh, yes. And in another 100 years, they'll be the same color because they'll be dirty too.
So these are the Stations of the Cross, which you usually have in churches. They came from Italy and they're also marble.
The men use pit
All the
saws.
pews are numbered, and each family had their own pew. This lady who's taken us through, this was her pew number 17 when she was a kid. This church does not function is not owned by the Catholic Church anymore, from what I understand. I think they donated it to this historical society. And this church recently won over every other building in Canada for the Canadian Historical Society to receive a grant. So now they're, as you noticed in the first of the video, they're redoing a bunch of it. But the inside is absolutely beautiful and in perfect shape.
Had to be cut with a handsaw on the angle. You know?
Yeah.
And to do that, just the skill, the patience,
Wow.
and everything else that these men had and showed. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's amazing work. And that's the reason why we say it cannot be lost. I was going to tell you about the pillars. They would get the trees, and what they would do is take those big machines that you shave them down with on each hand, and they would shave down until they got it in a circle. There's a post down the middle, but the bark is actually on the inside of those pillars because they didn't clean the bark. When they had it in the shape they wanted it, they didn't clean that side of it.
Oh.
So the bark is actually there.
Inside the...
Inside, yes, inside.
Oh, because they're cut.
They had those machines that they used to pull down.
They're assembled in two or four pieces.
Oh, they were assembled. There's probably 7 or 8.
Oh,
Depends on
I
the
see.
size of the tree they could get.
So that's not one piece.
No,
Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay.
We don't have trees like British Columbia.
No,
Yeah.
that's right. No, that's true.
If we did, it might have been a good, well, it would have been pretty heavy to stand up.
That's what somebody said.
And the men carved those out.
This is an original rain gutter, carved out of wood. They look like normal ones too, like today's.
Yes,
they do.
yes.
Wow.
Just imagine
It's in
that.
pretty good shape still, eh?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was kind of an interesting find to find this church in the middle of really a deserted area. This area was supposed to become a big city, but didn't, so they built the church, and the city never came. Anyways, this is Our Lady of Mercy in Port, Newfoundland.